Hey guys, Joel and Christy here, and what are we doing today?
Today we're going to be sharing a very little bit with you about Heartsong Resort in Pigeon Forge. It's Dolly Parton's resort that is attached to the Dollywood theme park. And we're going to give you a little tip on a way to save some money on those resorts as well.
That's right.
And just as a note, it is going to be just a little bit about the resort because while we were there, we were spending time with family because it was our granddaughter's birthday.
Yep.
So just noting onto that note as well, we will be sharing a little clip at the end of the video of our little mini opening one of her birthday presents that we just thought was super cute. So be sure to stay tuned to the end for that. Also, we might have a blooper at the end.
That's right. Probably will, because I just made one. Now, Dollywood has two resorts on their property. The first one is the Dreammore Resort, which was the first resort that they built on property there. Very elegant, kind of a Victorian style, I guess you might say, resort. The second one is the one that we stayed at, which is the newer one, which is called the Heartsong Resort. Now, they can be really expensive, but they're really nice. They make up for it by being really nice.
Yeah.
And they run anywhere from $150 to $400 per night, depending on room size and time of year. So we're going to share what we did to save a few dollars.
When we go up there, it's not necessarily to do tourist things, it's to be with family because we have family that lives up there. So we are trying to keep it to a minimal budget because we do it several times throughout the year. So yeah, it can get above our budget quick.
Yeah.
So here's our little tip for saving money on the Heartsong or Dreammore Resort. And it may not be something you're willing to do, but it might be. Because it all depends on what you're looking for in a vacation in the Smoky Mountains. There is about a 6-week period every year around the beginning of January to mid-March when Dollywood theme park is shut down for the season. And so because it's shut down, they don't have as many people booking their resort hotels because they kind of see that as, you know, I'm going to the resort and then I'm going to spend the day in the theme park. And if there's no theme park open, then maybe they're not interested in staying in the resort. But that is also means that they're having a harder time filling the hotel rooms that are in the resort. So they reduce the price down. That's when you get those $150 to $200 a night stays instead of the $350 to $400 range. So if you're like, I don't care if I get to go to the theme park, there's lots to do in Sevierville, Pigeon Forge, and Gatlinburg without worrying about whether or not I get to go to the theme park. And you're one of those people who are like, I would love to see it in the wintertime. I would love to see a little snow. I'd like to do some of those other things. This is a great time to go. You're getting it at a much reduced price and you get to enjoy that resort feel because there's lots to do there. So, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But yeah, this is a great time to go is during the winter months when Dollywood theme park is closed down.
That's right. And that's when you're going to find a lot of the deals on websites like Expedia. That's the website we went through was Expedia, so we can get some cash back. I think through Ibotta or something like that. Rakuten, something. I think it was Rakuten.
Yeah. If you double off on that, you use Ibotta, Expedia, Capital One Shopping. What's another one? Rakuten?
Yeah.
Did I say that already? I don't know. Anyway, you'll get deals through those websites and then also a discount because you're using Expedia or something like that. So it is a beneficial way to get those. And like I said, you normally during peak season, you're not going to find, I don't think you'll find Dreammore or Heartsong on Expedia. So this is your opportunity.
Yeah, and we went, I mean, it was literally about a week and a half before Dollywood opened. So we went at the kind of the end of the off season. So, so it may have been a little bit higher, but then it would have been maybe in January or February. If you're thinking about going to the mountains but aren't interested in going to the theme parks, we've already kind of mentioned that, but this is going to be a great time to go, either between January 1st and middle of March, because there's a lot of things to do in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. A lot of things to do right there around at Dreammore. They have different activities at the resorts. They have fire pits that you can sit at night if it's not too cold out. Or if it's not too hot out.
I think if it's cold, you might want to be at the fire pit.
Unless it's like, negative 20 or something.
Yeah.
I don't think it gets that low. But anyway.
No, it doesn't get that low.
But they do have fire pits outside. One's a big long at Heartsong. It's a big long. There's a lot of small fire pits. You can fit like 3 or 4 people around. But there's another one. It's a big long fire pit that
probably 15 to 20.
Fit a lot of people around. A lot of people can sit around. So
so there's plenty of them. They also had hot tubs, swimming pools, both
splash pads.
indoor and outdoor, and splash pads, as well as some activities on the inside, like some acoustic. What was that? Kind of like an acoustic.
It's kind of like an acoustic area where people come in. At times they'll come and play. Kind of like a little sitting area, coffee shop kind of vibe kind of going on there. Yeah.
All right. So speaking of coffee shop, let's talk about something else, which is still connected to the resorts, and that is that they do have multiple restaurants at both Heartsong and Dreammore.
Yep.
They have buffets at, they have a buffet at Dreammore.
Yes.
And is
I think
Heartsong is not a buffet.
I think it is a buffet.
It is a buffet.
I think so.
Okay, so they have two different. It's either one buffet or 2 buffets, or a buffet and a sit-down restaurant. Then they also have like a bar at Heartsong that's near that pool area with the fire pits, and that also has food choices there. And then they have coffee shops in both resorts, and those coffee shops they serve Starbucks.
Yep.
So, and at both of those coffee shops, I think they have breakfast options that you can get. We had the buffet at Dreammore the day that we were there, and we had our son and daughter-in-law and our little Minnie come have breakfast with us, and they made a big deal over her birthday.
They really did.
Because it was literally her birthday that we had the buffet. And they brought her a cupcake, and they just made her a big deal out of turning 2 years old. So they're the customer service at both Dreammore and Heartsong is very good. We also went to the cafe for breakfast one of the mornings. Also, every morning I wanted to have hot tea, and so I would go down to the cafe, and I would just ask them for a cup of hot water so that I could steep my tea, and they would give it to me for free every morning. If you've heard of the famous Dollywood cinnamon bread, they also sell that in both of the cafes.
And I tried it.
I'm
not a big fan of cinnamon rolls, things like that. Anything with a big cinnamon taste. But I tried it, and I thought it was decent. I mean, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah, we got it to go and then took it back to our son and daughter-in-law's house, and then shared it with everybody there because it's sweet.
Yeah, it is that.
You don't want to eat it by yourself.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we got like one piece out of it, and then it was like, here, everybody.
Yeah, everybody else eat this.
Eat this. So we got to see what the cinnamon bread was like, because although we have been to Dollywood many times. We used to live in Tennessee. We used to go to Dollywood every few years. He doesn't like cinnamon, so it was never on our radar. Until a few years ago when it became a viral sensation, and we kept saying every time we would go up there, we're going to try the cinnamon bread. So anyway, we finally did that. Anyway, so I would say the cafes are great. Oh, and I also know they do have breakfast. We got breakfast at the cafes one time. I may have said that already, but also besides coffee and cinnamon bread and other bakery items, they also have ice cream. And later in the day, it kind of flips over to like more of a lunch thing where you can get like pizza and stuff. Our son went down there by himself one day and order the pizza. So I think he said it was good.
Yeah.
Yep. So the restaurant and food choices and coffee choices, they're all good. So we would recommend them. So it's really a good place to go, and they have really, it has a really relaxing vibe, rustic, and like I said, you'll see some pictures that we've been showing throughout the video of the different paintings on the walls and some of the architecture, like the big fireplace, and some of the stuff that's very Dolly Parton themed, like a lot of her sheet music, and like maybe where she scribbled notes to a song she had written, things like that is all over the place in those resorts. And they do play other music besides just Dolly Parton music, but you will definitely be hearing a lot of Dolly Parton music.
Yeah, you will.
So if you love her, this is the place to be.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, so how much did we spend? I know that's what you're asking yourself. How much did we spend on the resort? Well, for our off-peak stay, all in, taxes included, it was $186.17 per night. I think it was, the deal was, I think, $168, and then we paid, the taxes on top of that. And we stayed 3 nights. So it was a little less than $600 for the entire trip for the hotel stay. Yep.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good for what you get. It's
That's
not
right.
it's not like we said, it's not like your normal little like hotel.
Yep.
So it's a little bit of a bump
Yeah.
up from that.
Yeah.
So anyway, we hope that you enjoyed getting to know a little bit more about Dreammore and Heartsong. And I wish I had taken more pictures and videos, but we're spending time with family and didn't really think about it.
Yeah.
But we do think it's a really good place to stay. And we hope that you take to heart that tip if you ever find yourself going to Pigeon Forge. That might be an option.
Yep.
If not, if that's not an option, or maybe the time of year isn't good or whatever, even the ones that aren't, quote, like upper, expensive kind of places are really nice there. You almost can't go wrong in any place that you choose to stay in Pigeon Forge. We've stayed in a lot of them, and we've almost always been completely happy. Just a few.
Yeah, just a few.
Just a few. But anyway, as we promised, we are going to be ending with a clip of our little mini opening a present. And we just thought it was too cute not to, slide it in somewhere. So we're going to do that. And maybe there's going to be a blooper at the end of the video. Yeah. So we hope you enjoyed the video. And until next time, remember,
it's a long run. Give yourself a little grace.
Oh my goodness. Oh.
She's okay.
She's okay. You want to get her out?
Oh.
Okay.
Hey, yeah. That didn't work well.
I might have a blooper at the end.